All right, man. Peace, family. What's going on? Another long day today. But the title of the video is America causing Millennials and Gen Z to lose their mind? It's definitely a yes, because there's so many things that are going on right now. I can't really even mention every single thing that's happening, but I do know that it is happening, right? And America is making these kids and young adults, and is making these guys, do things that they shouldn't be doing. And when I say America, you guys know what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the elitists, the oligarchs, the way they run the economic system, the way they set up certain systems in order for themselves to be the best profiteers, so they can have all the money, and the 99% continues to have to wheel and deal and do some illicit things that they shouldn't be doing, or not just that, but very civil people that are doing things the correct way. And the way it's going right now, what I'm noticing is there's a lot of robberies. And I put on my social media, on one of my other platforms, I said I believe within the next 6 to 12 months there's going to be a major spike in robberies. I seen a video where a young lady and her daughter that she had in her hand, she went into a fast food joint, walked behind the cashier counter, and grabbed food off of the conveyor, the conveyor part of the burger joint, and then walked out of the cashier joint, and then walked right out of the place, just like that. Like, grab and take, and just kept it moving, because they know, like, shit, nobody gonna go chase down a woman with a baby in her hand, but these are the things that I'm talking about, man. Like people are stealing food. You know what I mean? And the elitists, they don't give a shit, because they worried about Three-Eye Atlas and the aliens and shit like that, and when the aliens are gonna pop up and greet everybody. You know what I'm saying? That's what they worried about. While you got women and children, that are hungry, that more than likely probably don't have that SNAP program no more, or it's been cut to a point where the shit's not even enough in order to buy groceries. You know what I'm saying? Like, we know how that works. I know how it works. You know what I'm saying? And it's crazy right now, because that's not the only thing. It's these robberies. And I don't celebrate the robberies, because who knows what person's family is going to be involved in the robbery, or if the robbery goes sideways and somebody gets fucked up. You know what I mean? And that's what I'm saying. I'm not promoting that. I do say that if you do decide to take, and if you're doing things that obviously won't harm someone of innocence, but at the same time you grabbing from them profiteers, the ones that grab from you on a silent level, I don't have no problem with that. But don't hurt nobody. People still need to go home to their family at the end of the day. But that's where we at with everything, man. There's so many distractions going on. I see, them talking about the stock market. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not no advocate against the stock market, because I myself have traded, many times. I understand the stock market very well. And but what I notice is that they're making these false claims that the stock market is, doing great. But then you look at the society and the economic society, that shit's doing horrible. I mean, you can't celebrate a fucking financial instrument, which is supposed to be a part of the GDP and all of that in order to measure, where our economic system is. How the fuck is that doing good? And everybody else is over here showing you that the economic system here is fucking horrible. They just said that on a statistical note, and I will post that up if I have to, because I know I'm going to have somebody in my comments talking about, oh, that's not real, that's not a lie, that's hype, I'm crying, I'm complaining. I'm going to post a statistic of the wages the rent is outpacing the wages of the average American, right? So you got the average rent going up, and then you got the wages declining because it's not able to keep up. But most people are going to say that I'm lying about that. I'm going to put it up, slap you right in the fucking face. That's where we at. How is that constructive for our citizens of this country? They're working every day, some 1, 2, 3 jobs, but then they realize that, like, shit, I'm just working just to survive. And at some point, that's not going to be enough to survive. And I also made another point in one of my previous videos. I said that the elitists of this country, the business owners of this country, because this is a business. The United States is not a country. It's a fucking business. Hear me when I tell you, it's a business. It's a corporation. And it literally is. It is a corporation. If you guys go do the research, they're not going to tell you it's in a gray area, but it's considered a corporation. Go look it up. But what I'm saying is that the elitists are making the common folk into survival wolves. And you probably wonder, what do you mean by survival wolves? Well, wolves hunt in packs, right? And wolves, when they're hunting, they have one destination and they have one goal, and that's to make sure that they come back with something in order to feed the pack, or they'll die doing it. That's their mindset when it comes to achieving what they want to get. They will go and they will get what they set out to get. And if they don't, they'll die trying to do it. And that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm not calling the common folk a wolf, because I don't believe that they are. I believe that they're just trying to do the civil thing and just follow the so-called path that America has called the American dream. They're just trying to do what they're supposed to do. That's what I believe. But you're birthing something that you're not going to want to see in the next 5 to 10 years. Like, we had Bill Gates that just said, per Bill Gates, he said that in about 10 years, you're going to have the AI robots. They're going to pretty much take over, and it's not going to be any need for human beings anymore. I mean, saying this shit like he's doing us a fucking favor. No, he's doing him a fucking favor, and people are not going to be able to earn resources. Period. So you're not doing us a favor, you're doing yourself a fucking favor, fool. So as I'm explaining this to you guys, I'm hoping that you're understanding. I'm hoping that you're starting to really open up your brain to wanting to see how this place is really being ran. And it hasn't, I guess it hasn't always been like this, based on what other people that I read upon say it has, you know. But I mean, it is what I mean. Based on what I'm telling you, this shit is all factual, you know. But you guys stay locked in. But that's all I got for you. Appreciate you guys that rock with me. It's a small channel, but we plan on doing big things. And remember, truth's in session. Peace.